This episode is brought to you by Liquid IV. Whether you're working out, side on your tan, or running errands at the perfect pace, Liquid IV powder keeps you going with 2 times faster hydration than water alone. Because real life is extreme enough. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Buy a stick in store or at liquidiv.com with the code podcast for 20% off your order.
This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2264. Chomp, What Zombies Can Teach You About Fat Loss by Roger Lawson of roglawfitness.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your very own personal narrator. Happy Monday and welcome back to another week of Optimal Health Daily. This is where I read to you from some of the best health and fitness blogs on the web, kind of like an ongoing audiobook, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. So with that, let's get right to the post as we optimize your life. Chomp, What Zombies Can Teach You About Fat Loss by Roger Lawson of roglawfitness.com. The other day I was roaming my local library in search of large amounts of nerdery to soothe my soul, when I stumbled upon the greatest piece of literary fiction ever created, Marvel Zombies. Seriously, it's the best. I now render your ability to argue against this point useless. Insert mystical finger waving and arm flailing here. Did you think Peter Parker was just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? Just wait until he hits you with a face full of arteries and veins instead of webbing. In this alternate bizarro world, all of your favorite Marvel superheroes have been zombified, which is bad news for the human race since we're the only thing left on the menu. While constantly fluxing between a state of anxiety and OMG WTF, I started to notice a pattern. These dudes knew how to stay ripped. I can already hear all the thoughts of you naysayers out there. Oh sure, blame it on the fact that they're battle-scarred and in a constant state of decomposition, or that they may or may not be missing several limbs or random body parts. My response? Bollocks, I say. Success leaves clues, and while they may smell a little ripe, these protectors of the universe know a thing or two and have given me the go-ahead to break you off a piece of that knowledge and how us mere mortals can apply it. The typical diet cycle. Come, step into my time machine. Let us go back to any one of your many past diet attempts where you tried valiantly, but in the end, fell far from reaching your goals. Did they happen to look something like this? Phase 1. You begin your diet with great gusto. You are awesome, you are great, and you are unstoppable. Phase 2. Hunger begins to set in, but you have it under control. It'll take more than that to keep you from achieving awesomeness. Phase 3. You haven't lost as much fat as you'd hoped for, and now your hunger is at code red levels. You're not sure how much more of this you can take. Phase 4. You break, and my goodness, what a break it is. Several cookies, cakes, and small villages later, you lay defeated in a food coma on the floor. Having undone days or weeks of progress in one fell swoop, you are down, but not out for the count. You vow to begin once again with a renewed spirit, because this time will be different. And the cycle repeats itself, again and again and again. Mad frustration ensues. Of zombies and men. When these zombies get hungry, they get hungry. Due to their ramped up superhero metabolism and high levels of physical activity, their appetite is almost insatiable. As a side effect of this ravenous hunger, if they go too long without food, they start to go crazy and are unable to focus on anything more complex than finding their next meal. Simply put, they start to make stupid choices that decrease the likelihood of achieving their goal. For example, human flesh. Is this starting to sound familiar? When we embark on our own physique-changing adventures, we commonly experience the exact same things that zombies do. Nuh-uh, Raj, we're different. We're able to push those feelings of hunger to the back of our minds and power through it. Yeah, initially, but what happens when those moments of hunger are constantly rolling around in your head? You're at the movie theater, eyeballing the popcorn chomper 8 rows ahead. You're in the parking lot, plotting how you're going to scrape that decade-old piece of bubblegum off the pavement and into your mouth. You're on the toilet, wishing you had packed yourself a peanut butter and banana sandwich. What? Don't act like it's just me. The fact of the matter is that at some point, you're going to be hungry while trying to lose fat, but I'm going to share with you a tactic that you can use sparingly when facing down the hunger beast. Thank you, Giant Man. As the leader of the superheroes, Henry Pym, better known as Giant Man, is responsible for coming up with the technology necessary to transport the heroes from world to world across the universe in order to gobble up any humans that they can. Given the nature of such a complex task, Pym has decided to keep his wits about him while focusing on his work, otherwise he is useless. In order to do this, he has to take the edge off of his hunger before it gets out of control and reduces his ability to think straight. And what better way to do this than by keeping a real live human tied up in the basement and using him as an occasional snack bar? So why don't we do the same thing? Not the whole holding another person hostage and eating them thing, but stopping the hunger before it becomes an issue. Have a cookie. In order to lose fat, you need to achieve a caloric deficit, either through more activity, less food, or a combination of both. How great that deficit is based on how fast you want to safely and realistically reach your goals. But in general, the larger the deficit, the more physical hunger you're going to experience. This time around, though, instead of having an almighty binge when those thoughts of hunger feel downright unbearable, just have a cookie. Have a cookie? Yep, have a cookie. It, of course, doesn't necessarily have to be a cookie, but have whatever it is that will soothe the beast within, allowing you to continually move forward towards your goal. Will having a small bag of chips now keep you from setting up residence at the all-you-can-eat buffet a few days down the road? Then eat them. Then get right back to work. Alternatively, you could simply eat a little bit more of the food you're already eating. If you constantly find yourself repeating the cycle that I talked about earlier, then you need to consider moving into a smaller deficit. Regardless of the scenario, I'd rather see someone take one small step back and preserve their sanity and momentum than take a huge hit and moonwalk all the way back to where they started, perhaps even further. Yes, it will take longer to reach your goal, but I'd much rather see that happen than have you constantly reinforce negative thought patterns that come from not achieving what you set out to do. If that option doesn't appeal to your Spartan dietary sensibilities, then you only have one other option. Put up or shut up. Accept the fact that you're going to be hungry at some point and anticipate it. Knuckle down and get it done if it is that important to you. If you're not willing to do any of these things, then you can simply keep replaying this infinite loop until you get tired enough to do something about it. Like Captain Planet said, folks, the power is yours. You just listened to the post titled, Chomp, What Zombies Can Teach You About Fat Loss by Roger Lawson of RogLawFitness.com. Good news, business owners. Hiring game-changing employees just got way easier, thanks to Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform helping over 3 million businesses do it all. Attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates. With Indeed's Instant Match feature, over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates the moment they sponsor a job. I especially love that if you invite these or any candidates of your choosing to apply, they are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who only see it in search. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/health. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health and support the show by saying you heard about it on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Health insurance premiums are increasing, deductibles are getting larger, and claims denials are becoming more common. I can attest to the general confusion there is surrounding health insurance. A lot of people just don't know where to go or what to do. Our sponsor, Crowd Health, gives its members the freedom to move into a healthcare option that fits their needs. Your $50 a month membership gives you access to telemedicine visits, discounted prescriptions, and so much more. Plus, you'll have access to your own personal care advocate who will help you navigate complex health events and negotiate bills on your behalf. And of course, you'll join the crowd, a group of members just like you who want to help pay for each other's unexpected medical events. It's time you opt out of restrictive health insurance plans and let Crowd Health help fit your healthcare needs. Get started today for just $50 per month. Use code OHD to get the healthcare you deserve. Crowd Health is not insurance. Learn more at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com. Code OHD. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. Today's author, Roger, was talking about how avoiding certain foods or eating too few calories can backfire. Roger mentioned that he would rather see someone indulge in a not-so-nutritious food and move on, rather than continue to avoid it. When we look at published studies and whether avoiding certain foods make us want them more, sure enough, researchers have found that depriving ourselves of certain foods can lead to us craving them more, and then overeating those foods when we do allow ourselves to consume them. So if we allow ourselves the once in a while indulgence and get right back to work after, it probably won't derail our weight loss efforts at all. So as Roger said, go ahead and enjoy that cookie, then get back to work. All right, that'll do it for the Monday episode. Thank you so much for being here every day and sharing this show with others. I hope you have a great start to your week, and I'll be back here tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.